Welcome to The Quill and the Quantum, the podcast where we explore the intersection of artificial intelligence and the art of writing. I'm your host, Kathy Norris, and in each episode, we'll talk to those authors and other creatives who use or refuse to use AI in their writing process. Today's guest is Suzy, a photographer. Suzy and I met when she took the headshots for my webpage, which turned out just fantastic. To see an example of her work, you can go to my website, kathyanorris.com, and every photograph that doesn't show me in a green sweater was done by Suzy. So Suzy, thank you very much again for making that session just a heck of a lot of fun.
Thank you so much, Kathy. Yes, it was really fun. I do enjoy photography. I started back in high school and it just became a hobby of mine. So I started doing it, taking it a little more seriously, and it's really fun.
Well, I really believe that when you're motivated to do something that you enjoy creatively, it's meant to be. I mean, that is your art form. Photography is your art form. It spoke to you, you responded. And people say, oh, I did it just as a hobby. I believe it's that deeper calling that's pulling you towards photography, as that's your art form. So congratulations on finding it.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it is fun. They say when it's enjoy doing something as a hobby and you do it as a career, you don't have to work a day in your life or like that, right?
Bravo. Well said.
Exactly.
Well, yes, if you enjoy what you're doing, you don't work a
Mhm.
day in your life. My dad was
Exactly.
the same way. He was a high school teacher, and my father used to say to me, "Kay, I don't work a day in my life." He loved teaching, and
Yeah,
I was
that's the goal.
that's the goal.
Mhm.
Everybody loved Mr. Norris, so
Yeah.
including his family. So thank you for reminding me of him
Yeah.
today. So I've got my usual lineup of questions. For
Mhm.
example, how do you use AI in your photography workflow, and what specific tasks or processes does it help you with?
Yeah, AI is I don't use it a lot personally, but I know that
Mhm.
other photographers do use it a lot to kind of elevate their craft, I guess. So like they would put in like certain things into their incorporate like different elements into their photos that they wouldn't normally be able to get from just shooting by itself. And they would it's like really cool because I've seen people who would incorporate like different like almost other planetary like landscapes and stuff, which is like also a like really nice creative process that they do, and then they incorporate like their real life photography within those kinds of different landscapes. And it's really nice how I've seen people incorporate AI into their photography.
Well, and I'm wondering, is this when was the first time that you used AI, and when did you realize that it might be a game changer in your field?
Yeah, so I believe back in maybe it's pretty new. I'd say 2021 was when I first even heard about AI and
Okay.
like being used in like a daily setting. Um, but let me see. AI, I don't like I said, I don't personally use AI too much on my
Mhm.
own for like any like tools or um like photography, anything like that. I don't really use it too much personally, but yeah, it is a really helpful tool.
Yeah, well, what I'm wondering then, in your creative vision, it doesn't require the use of AI. It sounds like you're able to do what you want to do within it. Have you heard of any, like for example, Chat GPT has had an
Mhm.
impact on writers. Do you have any thoughts about how AI might affect future photography? You're not using it right now, but is there a chance that in the future, something that you do now might be impacted by AI?
Oh, totally. I already see people trying to pass off AI generated photos as real photography. and they're trying to say like, oh no, none of my stuff is AI. I do everything myself, and it's like it's kind of fishy that way. Like, why not just own up to it if you are using AI? And I find that very strange. If you're gonna use AI, might as well just say it out loud. But I think it might be detrimental to photography in the future, just because they don't need to hire models or they don't need to put up sets or anything anymore. They could just generate anything they want. They could put Miley Cyrus next to Pitbull if they want. They don't have
Yeah.
to actually hire them to be part of their photo shoot.
You said something that really intrigues me. You said, "I could tell it was AI generated." What was the giveaway? What did you see that made you think, "Aha, this is AI?"
Normally, AI would have would input things that a normal human wouldn't logically input. Like, say, like AI is very tricky with hands. I always see extra fingers, or sometimes like very subtle details, like the nail of like your finger, it would be like misshapen just a bit, or even like the pupil. You could always tell with the hair as well. The hair doesn't flow as smoothly as it should. And something about AI doesn't comprehend patterns or doesn't implement patterns the way humans would recognize.
Mhm.
And it's just humans are very intelligent with pattern recognition, and so I feel like we are able to discern machine from human in that sort of sense.
Oh, I find that very encouraging, the idea that, humans are very good at pattern recognition, because I couldn't articulate what it was that I was seeing about an AI image that made me believe it was generated by AI. The closest I could get to it was to say that the eyes have no soul. It just doesn't look
Yes.
it looks soulless to me, and I can't I've struggled to find the words to describe what that really means.
It also has to do a lot with the uncanny valley effect. Have you ever heard of that?
No, I haven't.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so the uncanny valley is like kind of a theory that it is once a thing turns into like human, like, okay, so you have like animatronics, you have mannequins. Those are fake, and they might look human, but they're not essentially creepy. Well, some are creepy to people, but it's like there's a certain level that you get to almost being human and it not just looking right, and that's what makes it creepy to a lot of people. People say that that is a evolutionary development caused by humans wanting to stay away from like corpses or diseased people because they look just a tad bit different, and that's how like it formed evolutionary. But it's so weird how it becomes more relevant to AI, and now people can have that same pattern recognition that you can tell that something is off. You can't tell exactly what, but something is off, and that part is really intriguing to me. It's called the Canny Valley effect. You should look it up, look into it. It's really cool.
Oh, I definitely will. The uncanny valley effect. Why is it called that? Do you know?
Because it's a the chart or the way they explain it is like a valley, right? It's like,
Okay.
let me see, like there's like, okay, realistic, like human, and then
Uh-huh.
there's like the inhuman here,
Ah,
and then
okay.
in between this part, the valley right here is like the part where it's like not human but still human, and it's like people tend to get a little creeped out in that area.
And it's so funny. You've also articulated something that I was feeling. Looking at the AI image made me uneasy.
Hmm.
And I hadn't even picked up on that until you just mentioned it, but it made me uneasy.
Hmm.
And so this is interesting. Perhaps I had not made that connection between the feelings that I was experiencing and anything that was based on human survival. So this is very, very interesting. The uncanny valley. I will look that up. I will look that
Hmm.
up.
Yeah.
So you've pretty much described it's already what the limitations of AI are. That was a question I planned on
Mhm.
asking you. Or do you have any other thoughts on AI at all, or anything else that you'd like to add?
Yeah, so AI, I feel like is a very useful tool, but it's also very dangerous. I feel like people can use AI definitely for malicious purposes. And I've
Mm,
seen cases already about AI being used maliciously. And like people use like other people's faces and they generate images that they don't want people being generated of themselves, and it's like it's very disturbing sometimes that I've seen, but it's also, like I said, very innovative and very useful for the creative area. And I even seen like doctors generate like images of like did they need like let's say like molds for like people who need like bone like replacements, and
mhm.
they taken photos of like the patient's bone, and then they generate an image of what that might need to look like to like get a replacement for it. And
Mhm.
that in that sense, and medically in the industry is very useful. I think it's very helpful, but then like I said, there's a lot of unhelpful and very malicious ways that people can use AI.
Well, I know you are not one of those people, for sure.
Hmm.
Susie, this has been fantastic. If there's anything else, is there anything else you'd like to add, aside from what we've talked about before? I've learned a lot from our conversation.
Yes, thank you so much. Right now I am good. Maybe just follow me on Instagram. I have a an art account that I don't post as much as I should. But I'm trying to work on that. I've been really busy with work lately and I've been trying to draw a lot more. But
What's
yeah,
your Instagram account?
it's saladbar.doodles.
Say that again? Or
Salad
s
bar,
so
salad
salad
bar,
bar, one word, SALADBAR,
and then period,
period,
doodles,
doodles.
Doodles.
Great. SALADBAR.DOODLES on Instagram to connect with Susie, our photographer. Thank you so much, Susie. And everyone else, go look up the Uncanny Valley as well, for sure.
Yes.
Thanks again.
Thank you. Thank you.